It's the roller coaster everyone's been waiting for. Today, Dollywood announced their 2016 roller coaster from Rocky Mountain Construction, Lightning Rod. This will be the world's first launched wooden roller coaster and will also be the fastest wooden coaster in the world, as it will reach a maximum speed of 73 miles per hour. Now, this will be the first RMC Woody that will not go upside down. However, quoting from the park's announcement today, it doesn't need to. This coaster has a quadruple down. How awesome is that? I'm going to talk about the airtime galore on this coaster later. Let's first get to the stats. It has 3,800 feet of track. It launches riders from 0 to 45 miles per hour up a 20-story lift hill. So the launch is the lift hill. It is of course themed to a 1950s hot rod, hence the rumored name Shot Rod. Of course they decided not to go with that name. It will cost $22 million, making it the largest investment ever in Dollywood history. It will have a 73-degree drop, and that is a 165-foot drop. And overall, it will have 12 airtime moments. That's nearly 20 seconds of airtime. That's pretty awesome. Each coaster train will have 24 riders, that is 2 across. And even though I'm a bit sad that there aren't any inversions on this one, I think it well makes up for it because it includes a wave turn like the one that's on Outlaw Run. I think that is awesome because one of the things that people love about Outlaw Run is that you get airtime hanging sideways. So you can expect to experience that on Lightning Rod. And have I mentioned yet that the terrain that this coaster sits on is insane? It goes up this hill and it is crazy. That's why it's so tall, but also the drop isn't 20 stories. The terrain plays a huge part in this coaster. That's also why it costs $22 million. As opposed to something like Goliath at Six Flags Great America, that coaster is on completely flat land, so it's not costing as much. And something else that's kind of cool about this coaster is that it will have a non-inverting half loop. I think this is going to bring a lot of people to Dollywood. Like if you already didn't have a good reason enough to go to Dollywood, if the food already wasn't driving you there, now you have a freaking RMC wooden roller coaster. This is huge. And I think it's awesome how Dollywood has been adding a lot of roller coasters lately. We saw one in 2012. Then we saw one in 2014, and now we're seeing one in 2016. If Dollywood continues this pattern, then it won't be too much longer before they receive 10 roller coasters. Of course, that is assuming that they keep up with the pattern. Everything about this coaster seems awesome, and I love how they're breaking the speed record by 1 mile an hour. Goliath had the top speed of 72 miles an hour. Lightning Rod goes 73. How awesome is that? You go, Dollywood. And because Lightning Rod is the first launch wooden roller coaster, I think you can expect other parks to take a look at this, see how it's so successful, and decide to add a launch wooden coaster for themselves. Maybe one that doesn't launch you up a lift hill, maybe just a flat launch. And of course make it even faster, and then they'll be able to mark it as the fastest launch on a wooden coaster. And another thing that I like about this coaster is how it's at the front of the park. All of the other coasters at Dollywood, with the exception of their kiddie coaster, are at the back of the park. This is kind of breaking up where their thrill rides are. It's going to be distributing the crowds, which is something that a lot of people will really appreciate. Now, Dollywood did announce that this coaster will open in March of 2016. That is probably why they started construction so early. Of course, that's not anything unusual. Dollywood has always opened their new roller coasters in spring of the next year, and it's always fairly early. So I'm very excited to announce that I plan on being there for the opening of Lightning Rod in March of next year. Assuming I attend Media Day for Lightning Rod, you can expect lots of footage of this coaster on my channel, so make sure to stay tuned for those. This coaster really does seem outstanding, and I can't wait to experience it for myself.